Good evening, everybody. So welcome, every single one of you joining us on this wonderful Friday evening. Here it is, folks, episode 100. So there's been a long build up to get to this point. It is a huge milestone in my journey in my career. Something I wouldn't have fathomed on February 19th of this year. That was the first time I ever sat down in front of a camera in a very underlit, ugly, dark garage and turned on the camera and just started talking. My first show was 19 minutes long. So, and I struggled to get through 19 minutes back then. But again, thank you guys so much. You guys have been the best part of what has manifested from a small idea and grown to this point. And I am excited to do this and excited for what the next chapter holds going forward. And it will be with every single one of you by my side, because you guys are just as important to this as I am and anybody else that I have here. So without you, there is no show. So before I start getting all emotional, let's get the particular information out of the way, guys. So if this is your first time watching us, and what a show to pick, episode 100, you can check us out on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/C/made from scratch broadcast. So thank you so much. If you're watching on YouTube, do us a favor, hit the like and subscribe button. As always, we are always trying to build our viewership there. Hit the notification bell. It'll let you know whenever we do schedule new lives, whenever we are live, and then whenever we drop new content on the channel. So check us out on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much. And of course, you can check us out on every other social media platform at our new handle, MFSB Live. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We are streaming live on Twitch as well. So one simple way to go. And then once we get the website up and running, even better, it will be so much easier and streamlined for you guys to connect. So if you're watching on any of our social media platform channels, thank you so much, guys. All the gratitude in the world. So let me get this out in the open. When I started doing this show, I had a hard time finding my voice, finding my way, finding a lot of things along this journey. And once I started to get a little bit of traction, I was able to reach out to a couple of friends and a couple of people that I had connected with really close on LinkedIn. And one of those people is part of the inspirational journey of how I got here. Her name is Sheri St, and she was actually my 20th episode. So that's like 80 episodes ago, guys. So back on March 23rd, we had a conversation. I remember it was really great. We had a lot of fun. And then I'm going to play the proclamation that we both made that evening. So here you go, guys.
I always will change the topic. It'll be totally different.
But that's great. I love that, though. And I tell everybody, believe me, if when I get back around again to 100, you'll be 101, you'll be 102, you're 103. So we're going to go.
Hey, now I really want that. So I want to be 100 or 101. I do. I want to stop, and I'll talk about whatever. You give me some really hard topic, and I'm 100.
Well,
I'm going to help you get there. I want to see you get there because I want to be 100 with you.
Well, here we go. I only got 80 more. So
80 more at that point. I was like, you guys, if you wouldn't have known what was going through my mind, going 80 more episodes, how am I going to do this? So it was a bit of a challenge, but again, if anything, if life has taught me anything, and the people in my life have taught me anything, it's to be persistent and consistent and do the things that I love. And a lot of these people who are going to be on the show tonight have helped me do this in one way, shape, or form. So before I bring on my guest, I do have a bit of an announcement I would like to make. Going forward, after the 100th episode, there will be a couple changes to the show. I will be introducing a couple of my guest hosts, my team members. my heart and soul of what we do. So beginning July 21st, I will be having a co-host on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. So guys, help me welcome to the show somebody you guys are probably familiar with. She is the future host of the show, Miss Annie Lieb. Hello.
Hello.
Annie,
how are you? I'm so proud of you, Jamie.
There you go. There's the mic. I was waiting for that.
I am so super proud of you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine now. It was just a bit of a delay. I don't know what happened, but
you have. Can I say a couple words?
Yes, please.
You have come so far. Obviously, we just saw your 20th episode, and it seemed like, just as it does in life with everything, it seems insurmountable. And when we first spoke before any of these shows happened, we came up with some ideas together. I laid out for you, like, dude, you have a lot of ideas and a lot of things, and let's put them into goals and let's make them smart. And we talked about what SMART goals were, and you put them down. And now this was your number one thing that you wanted to do, and you're here. You're live and in person in episode 100, and that is a feat. And one thing about you, I will say, is you pull through. You are there, you show up, you are consistent, you were dedicated. I mean, there was so much that went on in these 100 episodes that you could have easily backed out of. You could have easily said, tonight I'm just not up for it. I just can't do it. I don't have the energy. I don't want to. This is boring. I don't have the content, whatever. And you never did that. Yeah. So you need to be super, super proud of yourself, because in life, in a parenting, in professional world, in friendships, everything is consistency. And when you can deliver consistently, like you do, that's when you get popular and you gain, and you bring value and you create value and you gain a following. And that's exactly what you've done. So you should be stoked right now. I'm so proud of you.
I am. Thank you so much. The words, you don't know how much the words mean. And it was a very hard journey at the very beginning, because I did not have a lot of confidence in my abilities and what I was going to become or how I was going to become this person. And that's why I needed all of you and every single one of you along this journey to help me become that guy. And even now, to learn how to become that guy even more so. And it is so that I can someday be the man of my dreams. That's what I want to become. And
you're on your way. You're on your way. And another thing about you too, I know we have a show to do, but the other thing about you is, like, you're willing to sort of own up and say, this is where I am. This is not where I want to be. This is where I want to go. And when you can take responsibility for the different ways that you are getting better, developing, growing, and you can say, I own this. That's what makes people successful and what makes people leaders. So
thank you so much. It's so funny that you say leadership, because I'm still learning how to do that. It's something that I really value and cherish, is how to figure that out. Just because I love to learn and go down the rabbit hole. I got to give a big shout out to a gentleman named John Hill. He does another live show, recommended a great book to me called Leadership and Self-Deception. I love that book. It is something, I almost went through half of it today on Audible. Helped me out so much. So thank you to John, and thank you, Annie, so much for the kind words. Again, you don't know what it means. You don't know how much you guys mean to me. So thank you again. All my heart. Love you guys to pieces. So let's get the fun started. And so let's get this party started. Let me introduce the actual person of the hour besides, you guys. She was the reason, the motivation to get to 100. And like I played for you guys, the proclamation we made together. So true to her word, here we are, 100 episodes. Help me welcome to the show, Miss Sheri St.
Yes. I am so incredibly proud of you.
Yes.
Eddie, you just clipped it off like it was nothing when I'm watching you. And I'm watching you from you and I first talking to this team you have and what you're doing and like every single night, you know what I love about you is your heart and your passion and what you're willing to do on your mission side. And I just couldn't be happier for you, prouder of you, so thankful for everything that you contribute is really amazing. And for you to say you want to be the man of your dreams, that like says so much about you. And I go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I want to be the woman of my dreams. Like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, right. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be, right? That's
what a fabulous idea. And it's just, that's why people are drawn to you. Like for you to say, I want to be the man of my dreams. And yet really everything you do is about a give.
And, you know, I've this journey has changed from episode 1 to now. But I've learned so much about myself and so much about the world and so much about the people who are in it and who contribute so much. And like I said, this show has done nothing but give me perspective on life.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, and I'm grateful every day for everybody. As you can see, everybody who's been commenting, everybody who comes to the show, everybody that's a part of this, they are what, for me, what drives me to want to keep doing this every day is because I know that somebody out there is going to see this or they're going to show it to somebody else, and it might be what they need when they need it at that right time. You know, I've told people this before, impact doesn't have to be right away. It's just whenever being in a perfect spot and when you need it to receive whatever message you're supposed to receive.
That's exactly right. Because I remember the very first time I ever saw you, it was the first 3 seconds I saw you on video talking as a dad about your daughters. Right. And I was like, within 3 seconds, I was like, oh my God, you had my heart like immediately. And then I was like, I just like to listen to him on video. Like you have an amazing presence. You, of course, your heart is so huge out there. And I needed to respond to you. I felt so called to respond to you, right? That's how you and I started going.
Yes.
And then we got on the back side and the front side of social media and all that stuff. But it was amazing. It was just like an unbelievable, pull and chemistry and share and teach. And that's the part that is so amazing that a lot of other people, unfortunately, don't know yet, or we'd like to invite them, right, about how people can really connect and what you can give and different platforms and different ways of sharing ourselves, our talent, and pulling humanity together in this world. That's the part that's super cool.
Yeah.
That is super cool. Gee, I have a question for you while we're in this. So
yes,
when you, I totally agree with everything you said, Sheri. And when you would like prep yourself for these shows, when you first came into this, did you say the same things to yourself then at your first or even your 20th show before you went live that you do now at your 100th show? Like, how is that sort of
the progression was like this. At the very beginning, I was, let's not screw this up. Right. And I want to say it was like that for about the first 15 to 20 episodes. Like, please don't screw this up. Please just get. And once I started getting confident, I said, okay, now let's start adding value. Let's start really drawing and see where this is going to take me. And once I got to about episode 50, when I reevaluated everything, I said, I kind of want to change what I share. I saw a need to be positive. I saw a need to want to really draw towards more of my emotions and how I connect with people that way. And then as I got more and more along at episode 75, I did a lot of the same thing. I stopped myself and looked at it again and said, what needs to happen? What can I change that's going to make this even better? And from that point, it's been to where I am now, where I say there's more of a need to help people, not only with what I share, but what other people have. This is why I do shows now that I have guest hosts. It gives somebody the opportunity to build a voice. It gives somebody the opportunity to do something they would never imagine doing. I give them the feeling that I had the first time I sit down and I go, look, you can see what you can become. So if I can inspire people that way, that's how I'm going to spend whatever opportunities that I get to do this going further, to share myself and share. That's what I said. I call it our platform now. It's not my platform. It is our platform to share. So I've given everybody out there the opportunity to say, if you want to come on here and talk, guess where the show is going to be? No other show, I promise you. Go look on social media. No other show is going to give you the opportunity that I am. No.
So that's incredible. And this question is to both of you. So what do you think your biggest learning to this point has been? I know that's a tough question, but I ask tough questions. So
of course.
I'll let Sheri go. So
yeah.
Are you asking in general, or are you asking like?
I'm just asking like your growth in your online, your presence and your personality online. What do you think your biggest learning has been?
Mine will surprise people, and that is to be brave enough to fully show up as my whole huge self people know me in person as, because the media, particularly being female, can be a whole different game. So, there can be an awful lot of not fun and, we talk about all of it. So that held me up a lot because of my background and also just, my life. When I, starting in January of this year, was like, everybody's like, what, would you please just show up as bold as you are in real life, of strong and fierce and funny and authentic and crying and all of it. Just show up as your whole self. Because I used to do it on Facebook, I would do that, right? But not on a platform that might be more professional or whatever else. And I just went wide, full open in January, realizing, listen, like I'm burning daylight. I'm in my 50s, right? I'm burning daylight. I'll be on social media 10 years was the joke. And it was like, I got to go just full out because I'm not serving when I'm held up about, the safety of the platform or anything else. And so a lot of it was let somebody see your whole vulnerability. And so when you watch back 600 and some videos that I put out, so far, you can see the full range.
Yeah.
Doing the bloopers and flopping on the couch, it's like, but that's me. Like I can, I'm super smart. And then I'm also that, and that has been what really has grown my platform. And a lot of it is, I'm still a chicken, so I'm going to admit it here. I'm still, LinkedIn is technically a private platform, sort of. You can stay private, right? Mm-hmm. And so I've not let all my stuff go out to YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of it is, Sheri, you're not serving when you are holding back and not letting it all go full public. And so
that's your work in progress.
That's my next place. Yeah. But I'll tell you, I am much more happy and making a much bigger, better difference when I show up like this, my whole self. I'm happier. I love it. I love the engagement. I love the people that, are with me. I have met the most amazing people I never would have met. I wouldn't have met you guys, and I'm like, that is worth like everything to me. So I love it. And I feel incredibly passionate about it,
Well, just so you show up that way. You do what your goal is, because that's how we met. I made a comment and you just came back and commented back, and then we started private messaging each other. Yeah. And it wasn't about working together, and it wasn't about anything other than just being raw and real and vulnerable.
Absolutely.
And you definitely showed up as that. So just so you follow through.
Yeah. And that's the way it's good, right? When it's real and authentic and deep. Like
I can feel it. That's how I am. I feel it. So
I'm like not your coffee chat. If you want to talk about how is it, like I'm not your person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So. And you've always been that way. That's how I got a message from you. I got a voice message, not a text.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a text.
You're my first voice message.
It was a voice message to me. And I was kind of like, okay, cool. Wow. I mean, somebody that brave enough to go ahead and do that, I said, okay, cool. Let me do it back. And, that was one of the most endearing things that I felt we had a real connection early on.
Yeah.
Is the fact that if she's brave enough to talk to me like that, I can talk back and,
Well, and that came full circle because you then came to me. I mean, like that's.
So I got you from him.
It's like I don't even know who was first. So we passed it on to each other, and I was the same way, Jay. I was like, "Whoa!" Like he's like, you wanted to talk, and we got on the phone, and I just like spilled my guts about addiction and mental health,
and all this stuff.
Wait a minute, we need to do something with this. So it's crazy how it comes full circle. It really is.
It is, and that's where I got. When I heard somebody like that say that you can, at that point I felt if you can be that real and authentic and genuine on this sort of platform, I wanted to be that way all the time. So I wanted
But
to
I think that's what's so incredibly exciting. So I'll tell you the other side of the, when I don't worry about the junk. It's like, this is what I'm so fired up about. It is so amazing, the opportunity that we have now. I mean, I started on this 10 years ago when you had to pay for every little thing. Right now, you have such an amazing opportunity to give and share and learn and connect with zero cost or little cost. And I go, that's just amazing. That fires me up a lot. It's just super cool.
Well, and that's what G always talks about. He's like, coronavirus, like as much as it sucks for so many people, and like we're not dismissing that at all, there is a silver lining, and that is our ability to get out there has been, and our ability to be in front of people and be on this platform has been, raised exponentially. And so that part is, I hate to say it, it's kind of a cool part of it.
Yeah. And
okay. So here's how I say that. I say, I'm sorry for the circumstances, but I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunity. That's what I say.
I am.
Much more eloquent. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I mean,
and I tell everybody that. I don't want to go back to business as usual.
I don't think the majority of people do. Here's what I think, honestly. I'm so sorry for the circumstances, but I am thrilled for the opportunity because it is the biggest invitation to evolve for those who have not come to the party so far. Right?
Yep. So, and the biggest thing to answer your question, Annie, very briefly, for me, it has been challenge the normal, challenge everything. Whatever they tell you to do on social media, challenge it. Whatever they tell you to do this way, challenge it. And that's what I've been about. I mean, I have not.
What's an example?
Like say, most of the times when I started, a lot of the people or gurus or people I connected with, well, you need to center down your message. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to really concentrate on one little thing. What is your niche, right? That was the thing they always told me. You're too broad, you're too general, you're too all of these things, right? That's what I was told.
So do I. That's why I'm laughing. All the time.
That's what I was told.
Yeah.
And guess what? I said, you know what? That's not me.
No.
I challenge what is normal because, again, I always say that if that's what you want to concentrate on, that's what you'll get. So if I concentrate on bigger, grander ideas, then that's what I'll get. I really do believe that if I do that, what I dream about and what's out there in the world for me will manifest itself that way. And
absolutely.
And I can't. I'm just not that kind of guy who wants to be in a box. I'm sorry.
What's your biggest challenge, Ben? What's your biggest, and it can still be an active one, obstacle wise?
The biggest challenge for me so far has been to find a way to build this to a grander scale to reach more people.
So to scale it.
Yeah, because I want it to be able to reach as many people as possible. I mean, why wouldn't you want to really concentrate on getting these kind of messages out there? Because not many people spend their time doing these shows. It's either tips and tricks on how to get this, or what are the things you can do to concentrate on your HR, or those shows have their place. I believe this show has its place as well, of reaching and connecting and affecting people's lives. And that's what I want to do, is to get it to a grander scale so that more people will hear this message. More people will find it. And it is a bit of a challenge, but like anything, I enjoy challenges. I challenge myself as much as I possibly can because I know what it's like to not to. For the first 45 years of my life, I didn't challenge myself on a lot of things. And like I said, I do not want to go back to business as usual. So pressing myself forward and challenging myself to do things, this is what I will do into perpetuity, till I'm used up and I'm gone.
Till I'm used up. That's the good part.
Yeah, that's a good, that actually came from Zig Ziglar. I wish I could take that one myself, but Zig was the one that came up with that one. That said, on his gravestone, he said, when people come and look for Zig Ziglar, he wants them to see all used up. That means
Me too.
he gave everything on while he was on this earth, and that's the way I want to live.
I feel like I do that every single day. Sometimes I do not give as much as I'm
That's how you
giving.
get there.
So
Every single day, so you slide in sideways out of gas. I'm good. I'm not trying to hurt myself.
Some days I need to stop giving every ounce of myself.
Okay, well.
I need like just a minute to just sit back,
So-
which is part of what I'm working on.
all right, ladies, let me take this moment now to introduce a gentleman who I call my mentor, the guy who kind of helped me walk this path and get me down to the point where I can even have this conversation with both of you ladies. I believe neither one of you have met him, but you will tonight. So everybody there who does know him, help me welcome to the show, the pirate captain himself, the host of the pirate broadcast, Mr. Russ Johns. How are you, my friend?
Hey, welcome.
Hello.
What is going on tonight?
This is a way to meet. Hi.
Congratulations,
Thank you, sir.
Gabriel. Thank
you
you
know-
so much for the invitation, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
I there would be no me without a you. So let's put it that way to start off. So that's why I had to invite you. And secondly, these two ladies you need to have on your show because they're both very interesting, and I think they would make great pirates. So
But I have a
Absolutely.
question. What Russ, what's your team? Like, what's your football team? Because, I mean, this is like where it's at tonight
He's
and every night.
he's a
No?
oh,
So, I mean, that guy over there wearing that on his head, I don't know.
always.
What teacher
Well,
did you bring? Did you bring the?
Well, yeah, I have to tell you, I've lived in Seattle, and I've lived in Houston, and my sister's in San Antonio, and I've lived in Boston and Miami. So I really don't have a team, and I don't focus my efforts and energy. And I'm in Arizona right now.
I don't give
So
my energy to
Good,
that.
good
That's
answer. Good
crap.
answer. Good answer.
it's like I'm sorry. I grew up as a musician, and I never found myself spending a lot of time with. Even though I used to work for the Mariners and I used to work for the Sonics, and I've spent some time in radio and television and invested a little bit of effort in some sports teams at some point in time.
I appreciate that. I'm busting Gabriel's chops because we're not allies. We are enemies when it comes to football. So
Oh, yes.
I like to come on every single show with a different Eagles shirt or a different Eagles gear to make him really happy. So
I
Thank
applaud
you.
the effort. It's just,
go Birds.
Go Birds, right? Awesome. So yes, Mr. Russ, I wanted to just kind of highlight about how I actually got turned on to you, how you kind of helped usher me into giving me the advice I needed, the kind of tips and tools to kind of get started doing my own live stream show. So if I'm at 100, I think you're at 200, you're close to or over.
I think 202 today.
202. So that kind of tells you, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's a big accomplishment. That is a
That
big
is.
accomplishment.
And
Yeah.
and for him to be at that point where he was at 100 shows and have some guy who would just comment on the show to reach out and say, hey, how do you do this? What are some of the things? I remember the thing that stuck in my head. He said, if you're going to do this every day, that you got to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. You got to, and he told me, you have to show up every day. So taking that to heart, I followed in his footsteps, and now here I am. Here we are all together having this conversation, right?
And I just have to say, Gabriel, I just applaud your effort and energy because, yes, we did connect, and I know what goes into it. So very few people know what it's like to go through this process and have the effort and energy and carry that through 100 episodes. And so I just want to give you, hats off and applause. And I just love what you're doing. And I love the effort and energy you put into it and the openness that you present to the audience and the commitment to the community. So I just, you're an inspiration to me, and, you're passing me up. So it's like, hey, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back in another 100 episodes and say, Hey, Gabe, how you doing this?
So
Russ, what do you think has been Gabriel's biggest growth? Like his biggest milestone so far as far as his development and growth has gone since you've seen him from the beginning?
Well, the one thing that I've noticed more than anything is his ability and opportunity to open up and just be himself, and it's because he does an hour show. My show's a half hour and it's quick and I'm highlighting someone else. And I think the conversation is allowed to develop a little further in what Gabriel's doing and the opportunities to have a deeper conversation and direct that energy into a kinder, more gentler environment. It is really opens up a lot of opportunities that I don't think you'd normally have. So it's really awesome to be able to see that and come to fruition and watch Gabriel develop as an individual as well.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. Thank you so much.
So I'm sure you can take some razzing there, Russ. So what I just heard, if Gabriel didn't catch on, is that you're tied. If you're on an hour, you got to catch that, sir, if you're the mentor. Teacher.
Yeah.
I'm the one that got the MBA. She's doing the math quick in her head. I don't even know how this happened. I didn't even.
I just have a master's. I'm behind you. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Good job.
It's a great job and it's a great effort. And I'm humbled to be here and be a part of this.
So, and one of the best things that I've learned is I try to remember all my guests by their episode number. So Sheri's episode.
Oh, now I know. What am I?
You're episode 20. You're episode 100. Russ is episode 49. So when I try to remember people, I always try to remember. Now I don't know how I'm going to do when I get to 200, but I mean for the first 91 guests that I've had on the show.
There's a reason I didn't number my episode.
I know. I'm laughing. Like you're number 47. That's so awesome.
And again, it was something that I wanted to do because I felt that, again, the idea was to write down a piece of value that I took from every single guest that I had on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when I did that, I would always number it because I was trying to help train myself as well how to do. And I sucked at interviews at the very beginning because I was struggling even learning how to talk to people, to go, hey, how are you doing? Getting conversation out there and just feeling natural in front of a camera. So that's why I started the initial idea of just writing down notes and tips and things that I wanted to take from every guest. And
you learned on camera, which I think is so interesting too. It's not like he trained, and then went out and did a podcast and did interviews, but you learned as you went. You truly are, it's a testament to really putting in the work. Yeah. And if you go back and watch your shows, you can probably see a huge.
You want to see Panic episode 10 with Tim Meadows Jr. We were live having a conversation, and again, only 10 episodes in, so I'm still a rookie, green, not knowing what to do, and just to have him drop away from my stream in the middle of the conversation, I was like, what the hell am I supposed to do?
Now, can you see it on your face?
You could see the panic in my eyes because I did not know that never happened. So I was going, what am I supposed to be doing now? And I was literally lost. It took me like at least a minute to try to get myself back together and go, okay, well, I guess we keep talking without him. And then he popped back in. We started the conversation again, and then it happened a second time. And then that was a rough episode. So
happens
again, but it was a learning tool, and that's one of the first things that as soon as I got done with him, I said, hold on, let me write this stuff down because I got to figure out what to do if that ever happens again. So that was a first for me, and it was pretty scary. And I believe it was episode 87. I had 2 guests on, and I disappeared from the stream. They actually carried the show for me.
That's a little harder.
They carried the show for me. That was interesting.
When did that happen?
Yeah, we got to go back and check out those episodes.
Yeah, you got to check that one out. So in the middle, right here, I am talking just like we are now. We're having a good conversation. We were talking about the creative aspect of writing because she was a writer, and her husband was a stunt guy. And we were having really, I mean, but they know how to play off each other. They were very cordial. They knew how to conversate. So right in the middle of everything, I just go and I disappear. I go, holy crap, what the heck am I supposed to do? So I'm panicking, right? So I missed of that show, I probably missed about a good 8 minutes of my own show not being there. And when I came back, I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking they would be gone. They had left the stream, whatever. And they're holding the conversation down. It was one of the best things that could have possibly happened. So these are the things that happen whenever you do a live.
You're doing it live and you're learning.
I had never done that before, and he taught me how to do it. I was scared to death. The good part about it, though, is that when you are running on adrenaline, so for me, the front side's easy. Like I've been doing this for a long time. I can do this as a guest all day long. I think it's way harder to operate the backside. That's what keeps me. So he is an amazing man, teaches me how to do it. I get on my first, having never done it before live with my daughter. I have her as my first guest. I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry if we crash, but let's do this mountain climbing soulmate thing, right? And Gabrielle's like, you're going to be able to do it. And he's a great teacher because he goes, I'm not even going to get on and like hold you up on the backside. You're going to just go by yourself, right? So I do that. I'm at episode 2 on Tuesday because I didn't get my and I'm bringing somebody on, Natasha, who she's trusting me, and I'm going, I hope we don't crash, but we're going to have this amazing conversation, you know? So sometimes it's cool to do it live because it gives you a different level of like adrenaline, and you want to care, and it matters so much, you know? And so that's also what's cool about the platform.
And you're yourself, you're raw and vulnerable there. And like, look, I'm screwing up right now. And look, here I am.
Yeah, like I'm hitting out, and I hope this doesn't go down but okay.
Yeah, exactly. You're like sweating, but you're not sure if people can see your faces. My face is always red.
And that's the whole thing about doing this, right? Is just to tell somebody, look, visualize just yourself talking to a wall or something, and don't worry so much about the camera, because again, I was a camera shy person. I wasn't the most, photogenic kid to want to be on camera. I mean, all my kid photos of me were either I had a sad face or I was crying. So
it's because you had a beautiful heart. I would like to add, it was going to be fine. You just didn't know it yet.
Yeah, of course.
He was like sensitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was, but
okay.
But it's okay, right?
It's beautiful. I'd like to say it's not okay.
It's a strength now. Okay, so look, somebody wants to test me. So David Pollock, right, is asking me what episode am I? So David, you were episode 62. Go back and look.
Crazy, Jay. That's great.
So go back and look, David Pollock. You were episode 62. So I try to remember most of my guests. Now you might catch me where there's one.
I want to be 100 then, because that was really important. If I go by a number, I'll take
yours. Yours are easy. I can go 2,000. Wow.
28,
there you go.
2,000. Okay. Good.
Yeah. So, but it was. So each one of you, like I said, has been a part of the foundation of what I created. You gave me the focus. You gave me the motivation. You gave me the tools. And this is why I wanted each one of you here, because each one of you has been a pillar in me being able to do this every day. I had to literally learn how to create my own way to express myself. And you funneled all this wild, crazy ideas that I didn't know what to do with or how to really break them down into small little tidbits and make them manageable. And of course, Sheri, you were the heart-centered person who came in and showed me it was okay to be emotional. It was okay to be vulnerable and just to be you. And that was something that I learned from you. And of course, Russ, the tagline that you say at the end of every show, right? Kindness is cool. Smiles are free, and enjoy the day. And that's something that I really took to heart. And I knew that once I got all three of you guys into my world at some point, that this was going to happen. So again,
awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you, every single one of you, and of course everybody else who the community, right? The community that also builds. They add so much value and strength to what you do. So even on your worst days, whenever you don't feel it, or when, and not to expose too much about what Russ has gone through, but you recently lost your father, right?
Yeah.
And then the community around you and the people, they really help you. They really lift you up. They reach out.
And to that point, I think it's really important to, what's really amazing is the idea that there's been times where I've been really down and somebody will notice, and I've received phone calls, from supporters and people in the network and say, hey, I wanted to reach out and say, hey, great episode. You look a little down. I just wanted to call and check in. It's like, and it's really amazing when people pick up on that. It's really, you become transparent in a lot of ways.
There's two of them that are on the other side of the screen who've done that for me.
Yeah.
Who pick up on things that I've done.
Sure, isn't it kind of easy? Like,
I'm a little bit laughing because I don't know how you could not know. Like, you can see it in give me 1 second, right?
One second in his eyes.
And I'm like, oh, yep, I got it.
Yeah.
With you, girl.
It's a beautiful thing. So your reaction is you read well. You read well.
I love your spin on everything. Not that it's like a fake spin. It's real, but it's just like your positive way of, it's very Annie-tude-ish that you spin everything to put it in a positive light is very refreshing, because I think the way a lot of people think is so is that what I do? You can read it all over me versus I read well.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So here's can I just say this 1 second thing about, I think that what I'm also aware of in my full realm of the world is that a lot of men have been socialized that it's not okay, right? And they've been taught to be behind a mask and all this stuff. So much of my beautiful accidental work in the last 4 years has been having hundreds and hundreds of conversations with men. And so much of it is this, where they've not been taught. That's beautiful. I would love the opportunity to know all kinds of men that say, I want to be the man of my dreams. That's amazing.
And I want to change that a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm becoming the man
of my dreams.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to be the man of my dreams. Yeah. I'm becoming the man
of my dreams. Yeah. And again, it's an everyday thing to want to be the best person that you possibly can. And even whenever you find out harsh realities about yourself, right? Mm-hmm. To really want to dig and go, okay, this isn't cool. This isn't satisfactory for me. What do I need to do? How can I start the process? What are some of the things that I really need to really just look in the mirror? I mean, go, are you happy with yourself? I mean,
and at the same time, love ourselves up, because we're all like an imperfect human going live, right? You know?
It's so funny that you say that, Sheri. Today, real quick, I did a podcast on my Living with Annie-tude podcast, and I was talking about my perfectionism. And I talked myself into it and out of it through the 20 minutes. I was like, I always have to be perfect. Why do I have to be perfect? Why am I yelling at myself? I was having full-on conversations with myself, and I just worked my way through it. And it's it's okay to just be you.
Yeah.
You don't have to be this being.
Does it hold you back?
Yeah, and like you said, exactly. You said becoming. You're always becoming.
You only need to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah. Just for me, I stay out of the perfectionist thing because there is no such thing. I just don't. So I'm so imperfect, you guys would just die. It's just beautiful.
So imperfect.
I'm so imperfect. I don't even try. Somebody said,
look at her. She's like,
the way I look at it.
No. Okay, so listen. Here's my thing. Gabrielle, you know me better, but here's me.
Yes.
I am so not, I cannot even tell you. And so yesterday, somebody new that I met said to me, oh, I heard you're like the perfect woman. And I said, oh my God, please don't say that to me. Like, I don't even want to talk if that's like, don't even talk to me like that, because I am so not. And I'm not even trying to, there is no such thing. So I am my happy free spirit that sometimes is either a grown, mature, fabulous woman or 5. I'm not hung up in that. Like, I'm not hung up in that because I just am not. But I respect tremendously that people who are, it is a very difficult thing. It's usually a patterned long thing. So I respect that. But the freedom in there is no such thing. And like the ability to allow yourself to just float and be, and yep, this is how imperfect it is. Totally fine. If you saw the paper in my house, that's my number one thing. Like, rah. No big, I mean, it's, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's such a good attitude. It really is. It's just hard. And I don't feel I need, well, I'm already talking myself out of it. It's not about like that I have to be perfect. It's like my work needs to be perfect. Like what I put out there, my content, it's such BS. I know.
You know how many typos and everything I do?
Think of it this way. Life is an experiment. Life is an experiment.
I know.
Avery and I had this when he reached out to me. It's like, you have to go out and you experiment. It's like an instrument.
Yeah,
it's like playing music. You practice, you improve. You practice and improve. There's no journey. There's no right answer when we're doing what we're doing.
Yeah, it's
an experiment.
And that's one of the things I've learned as well. It's okay to suck, right? I tell people all the time, hey, I tell, just to make them feel better, I say, you know what? I still suck. I just got better at sucking. Okay, so
it's a lot. Like, what are you guys talking about?
So I get to that point where I say, it's okay, man. Believe me. Whenever I invite people on here and I say, look, I want you to come and guest host. I want you to I technically direct, but you come on here, you do the show, you do the content, you do the interview, and it's one of the things to walk somebody through the process and go, look, it's okay. I know you're nervous. I know there's a lot of things, whatever. Dude, I have been through it all. You're going to be fine. You, the one advantage that you have that I didn't when I first started was I had to do all my own technical work. So if I'm just telling you to concentrate on a conversation, it usually happens to where they open up afterwards and they start talking. And now once they've done one episode, they get to where, hey, when can I come back on again? So it gets to be where, hey, that's kind of fun now. It's in some ways it's sort of addicting to want to have these conversations, because again, it feels good to be able to share yourself and share what you talk about and what's so interesting about your guest and who you are as a person. So when I bring these people on, it is always fun for me because I get to see two people growing in front of my own eyes. So I get to sit back and just technically direct it, but I get to see two people stepping out of what they usually do in their comfort zone and having a conversation. I go, and this is what it's all about.
Yep.
I have a question for you, Gabriel.
Okay.
So since the beginning, what prompted you, number one, to want to do a show every day versus 3 times a week or once a week or traditional podcasting?
Because I'm going to tell you what, Russ.
I thought you were crazy.
Here's what it was. I knew myself too well. Yeah. I knew that if I took a break, I would, because I was still learning how to become somebody to be very consistent. I knew myself that if I took a break, that the smallest little thing that could happen on this day or that day would really throw me off. I wouldn't want to put it together. So to hold myself accountable to want to be able to do this every day, I said, I just have to do it. I got to keep going. If I stop, I'm going to stop. So that was kind of the motivation at the beginning. And I had heard, this is kind of funny, but I heard all these gurus talking about when I first started to figure out whether I want to do a podcast, right? They said, you get past the first 6 episodes, you'll be okay. So that's how it started. Let me get
pod fade.
Yeah.
Pod fade level.
So I said, let me get to 6. And I said, let me get to 10. Let me get to 15 and 20. And at that point, once I got to about 35, I said, there's no turning back. It is full steam ahead. You've got no reason to stop now. And I just kept going. And to even now, I mean, in all reality, I mean, I've probably done at least about 120 to 125 live streams. These are just the official ones that I count. These aren't like what we've done, Annie, on offshoots or me being on other people's shows. You know, so it's. But for me, here's the fun part. It's like me getting to have the opportunity to meet somebody new and learn from somebody new. So every time that I get an opportunity to come on one of these shows, man, I'd love to go and say, please teach me something. It is fun. Even like what we've done, Russ. We've done a few things on our own where we've.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, we went live mobilely in our cars. That was fun because the whole program that we used, StreamYard, had introduced that you could host a show. Mobile. Yeah, you could host mobilely from your cell phone now. You could do all your own show, everything that I do here now in the palm of your hand. Yeah. So once I did that, the geek in me just came out and said, I got to do it right now. Hold on. Who can I talk to? Let me call Russ. So I called Russ and I said, hey, let's get on live. So he was in his car. I was in my car. Here I am talking, doing a show in our vehicles. Cool. It was.
So every day can't be great, right? The three of you, we have to admit, like every day you can't feel great about doing this. So what do you say to yourselves when you have to do something and you really don't friggin' want to do it? And you're like, every single aspect of the voice in your head is like, don't do it today. Make up an excuse, whatever. Like, what do you say to get back on track because you know you have to show up?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking all three of you. So whomever wants to speak.
Yeah.
I'll let you go, Russ, and then I'll go after you.
Well, I was a musician. I played consistently almost every single night for 7 years. Somewhere. And for me, it's much like what Gabriel is saying. The consistency contains comfort. It's the ability and the opportunity to get up and start your day. For me, in a way, I start my day this way, and I'm not a morning person. And so if I can set the tone for the day, meet someone interesting, have a conversation that lightens me up and kind of invigorates me, I know that even if I'm not feeling it at the beginning, I'll feel it at the end. And I know the results. So that's my why.
And mine is the exact opposite. So if I do mine late. So if I've had a bad day, if I have everything that's telling me do not do it, I get on, I have a conversation with somebody, I get perspective in life, and as soon as I'm done, I get off. It's like the weight of the world has been lifted off my shoulders because I know that, you know what, doesn't matter how bad my situation is, somebody else is doing it somewhere else and they're winning with it. They're actually getting past and working past whatever, hurdle or whatever was in their way. So for me, it becomes a form of therapy at the end of my day.
A new perspective.
So when I'm done, man, you want to talk about, even though I've had I could have the worst shitty day, whatever, nothing works. I mean, nothing works. Lock my keys in my car. I get rained on outside, whatever the situation is. When I'm in this chair, the world around me, everything around me is fine. And then once I'm done afterwards,
in the zone.
It sounds like love to me. When I'm like madly in love, nothing else matters. Streams don't flow, traffic freezes, and nothing else matters. It just stops.
Smile is the only thing you wear.
Right?
Mine's completely opposite of those. So this is going to sound like ego, but it's backwards. So mine is, I know tons of people over the last 10 years count on me, and they count on me to raise the sun with them and for them as early as I can in the morning. So I know there have been people who have not committed suicide because of some video or some comment or whatever. I know people have massively changed their lives, have gotten on to personal development, things like that. And so mine is, I immediately think of them. So like an example would be in the last year, I have not posted 2 days. And it has nothing to do with myself. And sometimes, sometimes I'm creative. So lots of things flow to me and it's easy and all that kind of stuff. But every once in a while, it's like, oh, geez, especially video, because it's like, oh, geez, then you got to shower and like,
you gotta like look together. Yeah.
But as soon as I feel like that at all, or I'm thinking like it's not a flow day where I'm like, what should I post? I'm like, you know what, Sheri, they're counting on you. That's all I need. That's all I say to myself. You know what, Sheri, they're counting on you.
That's interesting that you should say that.
Yeah, if I get somebody, that's it.
Yeah.
And so it's like mine is just because it's all energy, right? So mine is you're rippling energy out into the world. That's what's happening with any post or comment or whatever. And it's like, you know what? I made a commitment to just show up and make a contribution, and they're counting on you. That's it. And it's
Does it feel like therapy to you though?
I'm sorry, what?
Is it therapeutic for you, yourself?
It is not. The piece itself is not. However, what is the relationship. So these two know I'm huge on relationships and the people I meet and the DMs and the podcasts and the things that go. So the post itself is not. However, I'm an author of 7 books and 3 were cathartic memoirs. And, so I do understand all that work, but a post itself is not. But 100% yes, the relationships and the connection and the engagement from the post and all of that is huge to me. And a huge piece of, I receive absolutely as much as I give. There's no question about it. And probably a lot more, because it's the community piece.
Yeah. I like your answer better. I need to write that down.
They're counting on you.
That's counting on me. Yeah. That's
I get up and I shout.
Russ, do you,
Yeah, the reason I ask is because before I was doing the pirate broadcast, I was doing what is called 2-minute tips in 10 minutes or less. And it was like last thing of the day, I would riff on whatever I was thinking about. And a lot of people, I'd get a lot of positive feedback and I still get questions. It's like, hey, when are you going to bring that back? And it's like, I'm not sure what the resistance is. And I'm not sure what interrupted that flow. And I'm thinking to myself, I need something else. I need an outlet.
Yep.
In addition to the pirate broadcast for myself that I'm pouring into the community.
I 100% agree.
Because so many people are hurting right now.
Yeah. When you say the word therapeutic, no. But when you say, does it give me passion? Does it fill me up? Does it make me happy? Does it let me be a full range of myself as a human? There's no question about it.
Yeah.
That the social media and all the different ways and pieces I do it, that is a beautiful, passionate dance. I absolutely love it.
And I feel what you're talking about, Russ, because sometimes after some episodes, when there's really hefty topic or something that just really connects with me, I use Instagram to get on afterwards. And to tell you the truth, I really don't care if anybody's watching or not. But for me, it's like my own video diary. I get to sit there and open myself up and say whatever's on my mind. And when I am done, I feel like heaven. I mean, it feels so good to express that, to say whatever it is. And sometimes people comment, people love it. And sometimes it's just me by myself. Yeah. But it is my avenue to share thoughts that I want to share out in the world. And like I said, the things that I write and I want to keep for myself, nobody will ever see. Those are just my private thoughts. This is my own little.
I got tons of those books.
I have a lot. Don't come over.
So
I don't share everything.
I don't exactly. I mean, well, let me ask Annie. What about you? Let me ask you, because again, you're getting into this now. You're getting your feet under you where when you feel the need to fire off some Anitude, you fire off the podcast, you get talking, and whatever comes to your heart, whatever comes to your mind, you start talking about it. So how does that make you feel afterwards when you're done doing whatever episode or whatever you feel that you want to share with everybody?
So great question. I feel therapeutic is a great word. But the reason that I do it is not for that. The reason I do it is, and I'm not saying it was for you, but the full reason that I do it is to help others, because I know that if I reach one person, like there's no way I know I'm crazy, but like there's no way I'm that crazy that like there's not one person that can relate to me, right? Like whatever I'm talking about, I know even if I'm having these conversations in my head, I'm beating myself up on this and that, and I just like have a conversation. That's what living with Anitude is. It's just trying to be your best self. And I grow through every single episode, and it's so fun to do. And honest to God, it's like therapy, because I never want to go. Like I never want to do it. But afterwards, I feel so much better. Like in the midst of it today, I actually said, I feel so much better and stronger. I feel stronger than I've ever felt right this second. And I meant it from my heart. So it's therapy, but it's much more like going through like to tell someone my story, not to talk about me, but so that they can relate and say, oh my God, I'm not alone. I felt like an idiot when I did that too. Or like, you know, I sit and I do my work 2 more extra hours in a night, and I beat myself up, and then I have this conversation in my head, and I beat myself up, and I'm a perfectionist, and why am I like that? And, you know, like, and I feel like if there's one person that can catch my message and say, I'm not alone, then I'm doing something. And that to me is therapy.
And I think the difference is using yourself as a conduit. Not everybody does that, but I realized I used to be a teacher. And so mine is like street smart coaching, because I don't want to do it one-on-one, right? So I went to video and all this stuff because I was like, I can do these little teeny teachings of street smart style, you know? I use myself as a conduit. Everybody who knows me well realizes I'm speaking of myself, or it's a photo of me. It's not a dang thing about me. I use myself as the conduit to do the thing in case it helps the one, right?
Exactly. That's a great word. I mean, you say things. I have to take a little from you because you say things much more eloquently than I do.
Now you see what? Now I see why you recommended it.
Than you.
But I'm like, wow, she says everything's so great. Exactly.
What are you talking about?
I just had to thank Gabriel, because I met 2 awesome individuals today that I hadn't previously met. So
and again, they
to light your broadcast on fire really hot.
That's what I said. So they will make great pirates. And the community that he has built has incorporated me into their community as well. And they are such loving and caring individuals that once you get into the community, you really feel like family.
I feel calm around Russ, like just around Russ. I just feel
he is chill. I like
he
it.
is
so chill. So chill. Like, humble and chill, and like
he's got that
I'm
vibe.
solid.
He's calm me down. You're doing something right.
Yeah.
I like calm and solid. That's a good one.
So he is a really he's really calm, really laid back. What he does. That's why I say my style and his style are different.
Yeah.
But I want to, if there's somebody that I'm chasing in the way that I want to be, it's what he is, because he exudes a lot of, you can tell the wisdom, the experience, the knowledge that he's had in his life, and the way that he imparts it to people, and the way that he connects with folks. That's what I admire so much about him. So I hope that, at that point where I'm at 202, I'm the same way. People go, wow, you're chill, you're whatever.
You two will have to do 200. Did you just catch that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's going to be part of the journey. So like I announced to everybody, she's going to be a co-host with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
So the 4 of us will have to do 300 on mine.
Yeah.
Man. So this is how we did it. High five, everyone. We're showing up.
Yeah. Right. And that's really truly getting yourself ready to do this every day. When you start feeling comfortable doing this, it doesn't even feel like work.
Yeah, I do that.
Right. It gets to the point where people ask you, hey, how did you get to this? Or is it still hectic? Is it? No. Because again,
passion work, sir.
It is 100% passion work.
Yeah, I like passion work. It's easy because you don't notice and you just like, it's good stuff.
I love the opportunity to highlight someone else doing something interesting, because it provides somebody with inspiration that says, that's interesting. I think I could do that, or I never knew that existed.
I mean, tell me the truth. How many people reach out to you, Russ? I mean, if you're anything like me, you get quite a bit of people who you've never met before, who go. I have
agents reaching out to me on behalf of their clients. The reality is that, and this is, I just had this question today, Gabriel, and Sheri, you probably have the same thing as you all of you probably have the same thing. It's like, how do you monetize this? It's like, I don't monetize it. I don't worry about monetizing
I don't worry about it.
I have other products. I have other projects. I have other business that I'm going through this. What it does is allows me to have a relationship with individuals that I wouldn't normally have a relationship with. Mm-hmm. A conversation that I wouldn't normally have a conversation with. And you're one conversation away from something else.
Absolutely.
And so that's, if you look at it that way and you're thinking, not what can I get out of this? What can I give into this?
100%.
And it's what can I deliver to the world?
Yeah.
And what value what can I bring to the table?
That's exactly what happened. My 3 children went to college, and 2 years prior, we had a family meeting where I'm like, okay, listen, like, I've been super involved in their parental life and it's beautiful and all this stuff, but like, what am I going to do when the Super Bowl is over, right? Because I loved it, and I knew 2 years prior, we're going to pivot, and like, your heart's going out. You laughed, Gabrielle. This was a real family meeting. And it was, okay, listen, like, I'm switching my heart to go out to the world on like everything I used to do a lot for my kids and all this stuff. And that's what happened. That was my pivot. So mine, it's my why.
Well,
I have dreams for humanity. I'm that nerdy. I have like dreams for humanity, and like, I'm not going to be done until I'm done.
I apologize. I'm not laughing.
No,
I'm not laughing at what you said.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at someone else posted. And so I'm going to put this up.
Okay.
Annie, you'll get a nice giggle out of this. Everybody else, I don't know.
I saw that before. That's from boy.
So I just saw that pop up.
That's why I love my teams. I just know always pick the quarterback, and I'm a cheerleader. That's all I'm going with.
There you go. So that was I saw that, and
I'm like the boy.
I couldn't help it, but I had to giggle. I mean, if I would have been drinking something, it probably would spit out my mouth. But luckily, I wasn't. But thank you, David Pollock, for the fun little comment there.
Truth, the fun little truth.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, let me go ahead and start this, because this has been a trend that I've started, and I ask every guest the same question. So I'm going to pose it to all 3 of you, and you know which one is coming. So it is, I don't want to say more, but it's just about life. So here it goes. When the book is said and done on all 3 of you, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? And what is the one thing that each one of you wants to be remembered for? Annie, let's start with you.
Anitude, of course. So what Anitude is it's not just a catchy word that has my name in it. The legacy that I want to leave behind is I want to be talked about and looked at as someone who brought love and light and positivity to all aspects of life and all people, and impacted the world. And there's different ways I want to do that with mental health awareness in the environment and things like that. But I want to bring positivity and light and help to people where they need it. And one of my strengths is being able to find where that gap is, where that help is needed. So if I can do that, and that can be my legacy, and I can leave like the world a better place with a good Anitude, then I'm doing my job.
Sheri?
Mine would absolutely be that I have loved my children with every ounce of my being as much as I possibly could. They are my absolute, I'm going to choke up. They're my absolute treasure and priceless thing in life. The reason I came here on this earth was to be a mother. And so they are definitely my legacy. The entire reason I do social media, which might surprise people, and I did disclose last week, is my deep why is that's my legacy. I left all over. It's everything I say. It's what I think. It's what I would want people to do. My real piece is to inspire the underdog, right? Who doesn't know they're absolutely amazing, because I've been one, and I want you to know you are absolutely phenomenal. And at the very end of the day, I don't want to be preserved. I want to be, she gave every single thing she possibly had. And there was absolutely not one more ounce left in her.
Oh, I love that.
Beautiful.
Mr. Russ, of course.
Yeah, leave my legacy. I want to leave 1 million loving pirates in the world, spreading the cheer, and also making sure that people understand that they have a gift, they have a message, they have something that they can leave behind. So,
Man,
hope, leaving hope.
Leaving hope. Ain't nothing much wrong with that. So,
Yeah.
what wonderful answers, man. I'm always, this is why I asked the question. I'm always floored at how much people really want to serve. They want to be compassionate. They want to leave this world a better place than they found it. And I believe if there's enough people out in the world who feel this way, who believe this really, truly down to the center of their heart, this is really going to be this place is heaven on earth. We just need to really, I just learned the concept of this. Thank you, Annie, for giving me that. Dr. Bruce Lipton, I watched the video that she sent me, and it was eye-opening to a lot of extent of what it is, of what this world could be. Too many people focus on the terrible atrocities, the things that happen, these things that believing in whatever you believe in. Why would a quote unquote a God, a deity, let this happen to people? I don't think it's that. I don't think it comes down to that. Mm-hmm. It's just that we each one of us has the ability to live the life that we've always wanted. That we get the opportunity every day to live, quote unquote, inside of our conscious. And that's for me, it's such a wonderful concept to think about, that we really control our happiness.
We do, and I think the other thing I don't normally disclose is I have a right shoulder tattoo that says "Use your talents." It was from a book cover, which I was a smart aleck of personally branded. My mom's like, "Why didn't you use a Sharpie?" I'm like, "Oh, use your talents." And so for me, the other driving force under all of this is if we could all just encourage each other to use our talents out of 7.8 billion people.
Absolutely.
Because if you like, here's my other, you are a once in all of history event. Like nobody will ever be you. Nobody ever will have your talents and your thinking and your way and what, like you're it. That's it of all of history. That is so amazing. And so that helps me as well. People don't see it. It's there. Now you guys will know when you see my videos. But it's like if you could encourage everybody to use their talents. Yeah.
Everyone has a gift.
That's so funny, Sheri, that you say that. Just really quick. Gabe knows this, but I have, I don't think my dad knows still, but my mom knows. But okay. I have a tattoo also.
I have two, so it's okay.
Right. So you can't see it, but it's hidden on my hip and it says breath. And to your point, it's written in my writing. And the reason I have that on me is because it means that whatever is stripped from me, no matter what is taken from me, you can never take my breath away from me because it's mine. So to your point, everyone can always come back to their breath, and you can always come back to your gifts and your talents, right? Mm-hmm. So we all are our own person and our unique person, but together we can help everybody else rise up.
Yeah. All right. So I match on another right hip. And so it's Mickey Mouse, not because it's cute and American, but I like American too. It is because of creativity and resiliency, right? I mean, he went bankrupt 7 times, and it was it's really kind of fun to do the impossible, right? And so I did both those things as a younger age, but it's like that it's hard to forget it.
I need to disclose something.
Okay, go ahead.
This is getting good.
I don't
John, think of something quick.
Wait. I don't have any tattoos because I was scared.
Scared to get one or scared of who was going to find out?
No, scared to get one.
Okay, I'll be quiet. It is painful, but I've had children.
Especially on the hip where there's no skin.
Go ahead.
Not that I did that. I didn't do
Yeah,
that.
it's not the fact that I wouldn't want something cool on there. It was just
We might have to work on
I
that.
just couldn't decide. I just couldn't decide what I want.
I know so many people who couldn't decide, but okay.
It is forever. It is forever.
yeah, right. So
I did all 3 stories to get into advertising, though. So that's
well, each like I said, these guys, these ladies would make wonderful pirates because each of them have their own little thing about them. Sheri has her own last name. She kind of
I picked my own
last name.
I chose
How unique is that?
that is
and I
awesome.
will pass on with that. It's never changing, just so everybody knows.
Yeah, she picked her own last name.
I
So
love
you know
it.
what? Steve
You said you
says,
were smart not to get one. You
Yeah.
weren't smart not to get one. Can I give one shout out?
yes, go ahead.
Can we say hi to Mike?
Of course.
Our partner.
My featured co-host as well on Friday nights, Mr. He doesn't like this, but I'm going to say anyway. Mr. Michael Padurano will
He's the
be
man.
on the show on a regular basis as well, starting that week. So
I missed him tonight. He's a super special guy and just important. So I just wanted to bring him up.
yeah, so cool guy, awesome dude, and he will be.
So nice
he will-
to meet you guys in person. It was so nice to see you in
Yeah.
real life. Like,
yeah.
not just on LinkedIn. Like you're real. I could
You're real,
look
right?
up to you.
Everybody's here real. So I got and just to tell you, Russ, I got a few guests that I need to start shifting your way. Pretty nice ones as well. I don't know if you've ever had Stephanie Liu on, but I'm going to send her way. She does. She's a live streamer on Facebook. So
cool.
Little nerd business.
Okay, wait, let's come back to my.
I'll create a custom video for you so you can actually make it easy.
Yes.
Okay, let's come back to why he's a chicken and we ladies on this side were not. Go ahead, Debbie.
Yes. I was.
Yeah, go ahead, tell us.
Well, here's the thing, right? I went with my cousin. Now my cousin's different, right? He's got tons of them.
I didn't do it.
And I went with him, and here was the thing: he went first. So when I heard him shouting a little bit, that's when I said, "You know what? I'm good. I'll just hang back."
You think that he could have a baby? You think he could ever? You think men could ever have babies?
Oh no!
I mean, can you imagine?
I'm not going to say what I would normally say. I would say something, but I'm not going to say. It has something to do with a watermelon coming out somewhere, and then they'd understand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
You heard shouting. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at you.
that's okay. I'm fine. I can laugh at myself as well. So I enjoy it. So.
But you are smart to let them go first. If you go first, you have to be committed regardless. Like that's the strategy if you ever go with people, you know?
Yeah, that's right. So
Make sure the spelling is correct.
In fairness, I would have gotten the first one. I probably shouldn't have got the second.
Yeah.
You know,
I went. Well, I knew a friend who went to go. He was such a big Al Pacino fan. He wanted to get Scarface on his body.
He should have talked to me first.
Wait. So then he goes, and the guy actually spells it wrong. So he comes out, right? And we're a bunch of guys hanging out and drinking. He comes out and he shows us the tattoo, and it says Scareface. And we go, "What the hell is Scareface, dude?" And,
This really happened?
yes, this really happened. Yeah, there's a real guy. It has.
There's a show about cover-ups now.
Yeah, of course. It probably. His name's Ryan. I'm not going to say his last name because that would be too embarrassing. But for a while, I guess before he got it, I don't remember. I haven't seen him in a long time, so I don't know if he got it covered up or not. But
what do you even change that to? I mean, I can't even think that quick in my head.
I don't know. You got to put a butterfly or something over there. You got to cover the whole thing, right? That's something you just.
I'm thinking duct tape.
Yeah. You just obliterate it and put whatever you can over it and just go on with life because.
That's what you get when you get Scarface written on you. Sorry, Ryan.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
That's whoops.
No regret.
So I've heard enough stories.
No regrets.
I've heard enough stories to say to myself, you know what? I'm good.
You are, and it's also fabulous to just be a clean person, not tatted up. It's all good.
Right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. That should really be your reason, Jay. Like, I just, I don't want to
I
And
choose
like
to
when
be
you on my fresh baby skin, you know.
Well, here's yeah, of course. And here's the thing: my thing is, what if I go and I really like it, and then I want to just like sleeve myself up and
They say it's addicting. If you go past 2, you're in trouble. So I don't know.
again, you know, I've never had one, but
Never
never say never.
Yeah, we're definitely getting one.
So if it happens to come to the right place, right time, and there it is, guess what?
Okay, say I'm done instead of never say never.
Right.
Gabriel, we need to, when we can get back together, we'll probably go get one and say live stream.
Live stream. There you go. Right.
I live mobile live stream.
I live for live streaming. So
living for live stream.
Listening, shouting, and screaming.
Yeah.
Like a baby.
So, guys, thank you so much, each one of you. Again, key people in my life who helped me get to this point of 100 episodes, and I look forward to having you guys continue in my life and celebrating 200 because that's going to be fun.
We are super proud of you, dude.
Absolutely.
I'm really proud of you. You really did it. You put your mind to it and you did it.
Yeah. So, you know, a lot of grand plans going forward. Like you said, this is one thing, but, you know, one of the biggest things for me is to one day stand on stage and start talking. So that is another goal for mine, is to be a public speaker.
All right.
Because that's where once I accomplish that, I've moved past all my fears at that point. Yeah. All my fears. Once I get to that point where I can be on stage, I will have conquered everything that I feared in life. So once again, that's a plan of mine, but it was something I was really going to focus on too as well until, of course, COVID-19, and thank you for that. But hey, I've had a lot of good blessings during this time, so I'm not going to complain. And I'll just prepare myself going forward to hopefully in 2021 stand on stage and really talk to folks and run a marathon. I'm actually training to run a marathon too.
You just made 2 proclamations. This is what happened last time when you got to hear.
I know, right?
Nice.
So I can't chicken out now. So I've actually been getting up every morning at 3:45 and I go running. Well, here's the thing behind it. Somebody, the lady asked me yesterday, Irina asked me yesterday, she goes, why do you get up so early and run? I said, first of all, I live in Texas. So going running in the afternoon, not conducive to my health, not good. Because when it's 105 outside, you do not want to be outside running. So guess what? I would rather go run when it's 89 degrees at 3:45 in the morning and get it out of the way. And of course, it helps me start my day and really gets the blood flowing and juices going. So once I get to a little bit more comfortable, I'll start posting run times of what I'm actually clocking at. Because at my best, I was running 4 miles in 36 minutes. So that was at the peak of me running. So hopefully I can get back somewhere in that range. So it's just been, again, another goal to put out there. And now people will have to hold me to the fire. And that's one thing.
No fasting while you're training to run. Okay.
What?
No fasting while you're training to run.
Oh, no. Actually, I've actually changed a lot of my diet to, here's the funny thing, right? Here's the best thing about having dietitians on, right?
Yeah.
You get free advice.
Yeah.
So whenever I had one on yesterday and afterwards we got off and said, hey, look, if I were to change my diet to this, what would be some of the plans or what would you think you get? And of course they open up, bammo, I get free information and I love it because again, I get to acquire more knowledge of how to, and I got to do this again. I got to show this. I failed this last time. I did a 30-day sugar detox. I made it 16 days.
What'd you break it with?
Birthday cake. That's
a rough one.
That's a rough one when you got kids. When you got 4 kids, right?
Yeah, man.
When you got 4 kids, a lot of birthday cakes, a lot of parties you got to go to. And that was what did me in. And I knew it afterwards. I said, son of a gun. But you know what? it's like anything. It's a challenge. I want to get up and do it again just to see how far I can go, because again, that's what I'm about these days. Just challenging myself. So guys, thank you again so much. Sheri, yeah, Sheri for being here for 100. Let's plan for 200. Mr. Russ, of course, as always. You know, thank you for everything you've done for me, and we got things to plan as well, because we're going to do a show where we want to talk about each other's guests that we've had on. A lot of similar guests that we've had on, and what we've learned from them and along the journey. So we'll do with that. And of course, Annie, thank you so much as well.
Thank you.
We will have a lot of good times going forward. So thank you, each one of you. And of course, everybody else who's joined along on the show this evening. As always, guys, you are the lifeblood of what we do here, what I do and what I share. And you make this worthwhile every single night. So again, what does that say? Strong. Yes. Strong. I believe that.
That's the Attitude message, guys, for tonight. Strong AF.
Okay. Guys, sit tight just for a second. Everybody else, I will be back Monday evening.
Good night.
7 o'clock, same time, same channel. You know, everything else goes on. Stay safe, stay blessed. And I stole this again, but I love this, and I want to use it every day. So it's live today, love tomorrow, unite forever. I love that. So thank you so much.
Heart-centered.
Yes, and stay heart-centered, everybody. Have a good evening. I will talk to you again Monday evening, 7 o'clock. Again, you guys sit tight. Audience, I'll see you guys Monday evening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.